This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
He is not Derrick Henry. He is not one of those special backs in that sense. A really good one that's been outstanding in fantasy for quite some time. But you can also hear the buzz recently about it being more of a split backfield. And if that's so, then Aaron Jones' value takes a hit, Jordan Mason's value goes up, and there's an opportunity at some point if Aaron Jones misses time where you can see Jordan Mason take that backfield over.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's a safe shot, pin high left with a 6-iron. And then this is where JJ enters the fray again and hits this like slice 5-iron. That was just, I mean, it curved probably a good, 30, 40 feet, almost flies in the hole. And it was just a crazy shot because nobody would ever really try to hit that type of slider.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
An HRR, parlay, a combo that you want to do. I genuinely prefer away teams and players that hit at the top of the lineup or in the top half, just because you are guaranteed just that extra plate appearance here or there. How many times, throughout the season, I've been like, listen, if this guy gets on, he will have one more at bat in the 9th inning, and if he doesn't get there.
Time to rise and grind. It's the early line on the SportsGrid Network, and away we go on a Thursday. Big doings across the sports landscape. My goodness, we are your cup of coffee to get you going in the morning to open up your sports day. It's Donnie Wrights out. It's Joe Ranieri, and over the next 2 hours, we got you covered. There's a lot of stuff going on. We still have a nice Major League Baseball slate this afternoon. We also start our preseason football, not today, but tomorrow, and also a Sunday night football game as well. The Chicago Bears going to play Caleb Williams more and more. A lot of fun stuff to talk about, but the one thing I do get a kick out of here, the Brewers may never lose again. Joe Ranieri, we're ready to go. It's a Thursday. Let's get after it.
I'm ready. I may have to eat my words yesterday saying that we'll never see a 162-0 team ever in Major League Baseball because the Brewers, my goodness, if they could start the season over right now, they could very well be on their way to an undefeated season with what they got going on.
Buzzsaw is the word I like to use today, Joe Ranieri, as my word of the day. That's what the Milwaukee Brewers are. We'll talk about them in just a little bit, but you know it. The 7-7 is the hottest topics there. It's always dealing with the NFL. Exciting first start out of Shedeur Sanders for the Cleveland Browns. Might that be his only start? An oblique injury, unlikely to play Saturday against the Philadelphia Eagles due to a practice injury yesterday. Looked uncomfortable in the videos that came out, and you see the Adam Schefter's tweet there. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but it looks like he's not going to play Saturday.
See, this is why the Browns can't have nice things. Right here, okay? Just when you think you've turned a corner and maybe, just maybe, we got lucky by picking a guy here in the, 4th round that can actually be our future. Oh, no, can't do it now. He can't practice. Got an oblique injury. So Joe Flacco now has to take all the first-team reps, and now Dylan Gabriel and Pickett will have an opportunity to shine here. Unbelievable with the Browns.
Heading down there for Jersey Joe, and I don't mean a boxer out there, and I don't mean Joe Ranieri. I mean Jersey Joe, as in Flacco, who's been playing for 15 years. And, the Cleveland Browns team total, again, it's listed at 4.5. Good luck to those Brownies here. How about the Dallas Cowboys? There's a lot of hype around the Cowboys, just like there is every single year. But now Jerry Jones is taking it to another level. He has no idea what's going on with Micah Parsons. Is this his franchise? Is he the GM? What are we doing here, Joe?
There's nothing stopping, I think he said, the negotiations with Micah Parsons, except for, maybe that nobody is talking to Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons isn't talking either, Donnie. He had absolutely nothing to say yesterday when asked about, what's going on. I mean, Jerry says there's nothing stopping you guys from talking. And his answer was no comment. So great. I mean, just the things are going swimmingly in Dallas.
But here's the reason why Dallas can't be good and have nice things. Like, there's two choices you make in the NFL, where I want to make as much money as possible, or I want to win and I'm still going to make a lot of money. And Jerry Jones with these stupid comments that are like, you know what's awesome? You guys keep talking about me, Micah Parsons, and the Dallas Cowboys. That's the best advertising. And somebody should pull him aside and be like, Jerry, is your goal like to be on the National Enquirer front page every day? Or would you rather actually win football games? Don't we remember 1995 Super Bowl champions? It's 2025. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl. They haven't been back to the NFC Championship game. But Jerry's over like, this is awesome. My team is in shambles, but as long as you guys keep talking about us, we'll make more money. Enough of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's move on here to what matters. That's Caleb Williams. That's Ben Johnson. Starters getting a lot of time, possibly on Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. Let's see that offense rip with Caleb.
Well, they better play somebody because, my goodness, the Dolphins lit them up there with all these second and third team. You made, Zach Wilson look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. So there better be some starters on the field for the Bears, because everything we keep hearing out of camp is Caleb Williams again. Not sure this Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams combo is going to be great for Bears Nation here this season.
How about this? Yesterday in Milwaukee, 11 wins on the line trying to get to 12. You know what happened yesterday? The Brewers scored 12 runs. They won their 12th straight game. And the biggest news of all, this victory and the win streak to 12 games, free hamburgers for the entire city of Milwaukee were on the line. Who's going bankrupt today? Who's making the hamburgers?
Well, but go get your burger, people. And you might get another one today, tomorrow, next day, because this team refuses to lose. And it doesn't make a difference whether they're playing the bottom feeders. And sometimes, Donnie, beating the teams you're supposed to beat is the hardest in the world to do here. But doesn't make a difference. Good, bad, indifferent. We are just going to light you up. The stat of the day for me yesterday with them, Donnie, they are now 40 games in which they have scored 4 or more runs in one inning.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, they are a team total over machine is what they are.
You want pressure? How about Woodruff yesterday was on the mound? Quote, I was nervous. There was a little bit more at stake today. I wanted to win those burgers bad. Who doesn't want a free burger? The Brewers providing meals for your children and the adults, and also winning baseball games at the same time. That's a national hero story right here today.
America.
How about the Cincinnati Reds against my Philadelphia Phillies? America, Philadelphia, ring the Liberty Bell. How about you ring a run across the board? But my goodness, if Hunter Green is going to be this good down the stretch, do the Reds have something in order for us, Joe?
Yeah, all of a sudden the Reds figured out how to hit lefties. They have figured out how to beat the first place Phillies. Unbelievable here. But listen, good showing by the Reds. And with the Mets continuing to throw up all over themselves to the joy of Yankee Nation, then yes, the Reds, we are behind you. Nothing would excite me more than watching both the Mets and the Yankees miss the postseason.
How about this? If we be real quiet, Joe, we can hear this. The Dodgers are in second place. Shh, don't tell the sports books. You hear that, Joe? I didn't want anybody to hear it but you in your ear right there. And if you saw last night, 6-5 final. The Angels beat the Dodgers. What if I would have told you before this game, Joe, Kyle Hendricks going to take that mound and go 3 1/3 innings and give up 5 earned runs, and Ohtani starting on the other side? Blowout win for the Dodgers. How about a sweep for the Angels over there, I guess, crosstown rivals, if you like to say?
How about this, Donnie? You ready? Okay. The Angels have not lost to the Dodgers this year. They have swept the Dodger series. They're crosstown supposed rivals, which is hilarious, which Ohtani goes 5 innings against his former team, but most people don't even remember he played for the Angels. But it dominated, and what happened? That's right, the bullpen of the Dodgers got involved, and then that was all she wrote.
Dodgers are in second place now. I haven't checked the odds just yet. We'll do that a little bit later. But they probably increased their odds to win the division because they're not in first place anymore. That's just how the books price the Dodgers. They absolutely love them. Here's where we feel bad for the fans. How about this final segment here in the 7-7 right now? The Minnesota Twins, who sold their entire team at the deadline, and their ownership group goes like, you know what? We're getting new investors here. Let's win some baseball games. Pull that family. Sell. Make a lot of money. Let that fan base relax and enjoy themselves with an ownership group that will actually care about winning. Stop showing me Kirby Puckett highlights from 1990. Done with it here. The Twins go, we're not for sale. And the fans go, we wish you were for sale.
But I don't understand. Like, so you just dismantled and sold off every valuable player that you had because we were all told that, well, they're selling the team so new owners can do what they're... Oh, but now you're going to stay. Oh, okay. Things are going swimmingly in Minnesota as well there, Donnie.
Very good for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I guess. You can have more fan base. Minnesota Vikings have a little bit more fan base because you're going to lose them from a twin side. And maybe bring back the North Stars. Wouldn't you love that, too? How about the North Stars instead of the Twins? How about they come back as two hockey teams in Minnesota? We'll be right back to the early line. More NFL talk next. Theodore Sanders style.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Right back out of here on the early line. Rise and grind. It's what we do. It's Joe Ranieri. It's Donnie Right Side. The energy needs to be here to carry you through for your SportsGrid day, and that is our job. And we always take that mission seriously. You know whose job it is also to lead a football team? It's your starting quarterback. You know how you can't lead your football team, Joe? If you are injured. Adam Schefter report yesterday. Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders suffered an oblique strain today, will not practice Thursday, and is unlikely to play Saturday versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You get the mojo. You get the good start. You want to build on that, and all of a sudden, you go to the back of the line, because if you are injured, you cannot practice, you cannot play, you cannot be in the game plan, and you cannot show your teammates and coaching staff and general manager and owner and fans that you deserve to be the starting quarterback in week number 1. This is a setback for Shedeur. It's an oblique, which means, Joe, that's torque on the football, that's throwing. That's what a quarterback does. You can't just go out and say, hey, you know what? Oblique hurts today. I'll just go 50%. You can't do that. Big injury for Shedeur Sanders and the Browns.
It's just totally unfortunate. Once again, the whole Browns organization and quarterbacking is cursed, Donnie, any which way you cut it. I mean, how else do you look at it? At this point, this organization has been so ridiculously bad at figuring out who their quarterbacks are for a bevy of reasons over the years. And now you get a guy that goes 45 snaps in an opening game that has more hype around him than any quarterback you've had in a very, very long time. Things are looking up. And then what happens in some fluke injury in a joint practice with your Eagles with no full pads on somehow? Pulls an oblique injury? Like, what? You've got to be, you can't make this up, Donnie. Honestly, you just can't make it up.
Maybe he's smarter than everybody else. He says, look, man, I can't compete with the Eagles. So I'm not going to go out there to 7-7 or 11-11 and embarrass myself. I don't want to play in this football game when some of those Eagles players will start. I put good film out there. Let me just sit this out and let everybody else put bad film out there. But the funny part about this is, if there's anything funny, is you look at the Browns, locker room, particularly the quarterback situation. It's like, hey, look at all the young guys. Kenny Pickett, injured hamstring. Shedeur Sanders, injured oblique. Dylan Gabriel, injured hamstring. 40-year-old Joe Flacco, healthy. Come on, we can't make this up, can we, Joe?
No, and listen, Flacco was taking all the reps with the starters anyway during practice, and the unfortunate thing is now. Well, I guess the fortunate thing is, right, Tyler Huntley, who was signed off the scrap heap because they didn't have anybody else to back up Shedeur last week healthy enough, and they are not going to roll out in a wheelchair there, good old Joe Flacco and his AARP card. So we're basically going to be looking at, Dylan Gabriel, who is somewhat healthy. Pickett doesn't appear to be healthy enough to play this week. So here we go. No Flacco, no Pickett, the two guys with the experience. So now we're going to get Huntley, who we've all seen enough of in his career, and maybe a little Dylan Gabriel if he doesn't get hurt, that is, at some point between now and then.
By the way, you know where Joe Flacco grew up? What state, Joe? Do you know that?
Oh, he's a Jersey/Delaware guy, from what I understand.
Yep, he grew up in Audubon, played football at Audubon High School. Why does DRS bring this up? That's the Colonial Conference as it used to be in the 1990s and so many decades. Did you know, now granted, I'm older, I'm 47, he's 40, but, same conference here. In 1995, scored 2 touchdowns against Audubon High School. Was named the South Jersey Player of the Week for a wide receiver. Did you know that about your boy right here? And you know what? Watch this.
Oh, no. I know.
Let me reach back. Now, let me explain this. Let me explain this to you. See, here's a plaque. Let me just get a little bit closer. It's really hard to focus on this here. But that's my plaque. Now, it says Offensive Lineman of the Week. Do I look like an offensive lineman? No. They took 2 skill position players, 2 wide receivers, but they already had the plaques made out. So my name is on there, the date's on there, but it says Offensive Lineman of the Week. So maybe I could play that off. You know what I mean? Would you think I was an offensive lineman if you saw this plaque?
Donnie, I got to tell you, don't say that too loud, because there are still a number of teams looking for solid offensive linemen. So you might be getting a phone call here, my man, based upon that plaque. I'd keep the lid on that. Keep it quiet. Don't want you getting hurt here before the end of the week.
No, and also a sneak peek into that game as well, Joe. I had 1 touchdown in the first half, which was great, but the second half we were winning by a wide margin. So me and the quarterback decided to not run the football and throw a deep touchdown pass, which I caught some flack on the sideline by my head coach. But come on now. You got to live for today, Joe. Don't worry about tomorrow. Score today. Worry about running in practice tomorrow. You ever hear that? You know what I mean? Come on.
Listen, what have you done for me lately? I am with you, dude. The more touchdowns you can throw, more blocks you can get, very valuable. Hold on to that plaque, Donnie. Don't lose it. Don't lose.
Absolutely. By the way, back to the Browns situation. Is it clear, though, right now that Joe Flacco should be minus 10,000 to start week number 1? Like, is that what we're heading towards, where he shouldn't be the starter? But it's like, hey, he's the old guy. Yeah, he's the only healthy guy. How's it even possible anyway? Flacco's going to start week 1, isn't he?
They might bubble wrap him at this point, Donnie. They might roll Flacco and bubble wrap and put him somewhere in the locker room and say, don't touch this. Kind of like your plaque back there. Just keep it off to the side. Don't let anything happen to it. And then we need a healthy quarterback for week 1. And it's quite apparent that Stefanski doesn't want to see Flacco in the preseason. He needs a healthy quarterback for game 1. And he's going to get it, provided Flacco doesn't trip over somebody in practice.
Incredible, man. Like, you try to get these guys souped up for the regular season, like young quarterbacks here, can't take care of their hamstrings. Old guy's going to start. 4.5 as a team total for the Browns. And I just find it funny where I wonder how quickly these injuries, heal up per se, because I did want Shedeur Sanders to start week 1 of the NFL season, because I just think a young rookie quarterback should start for the Browns, who have no hope for the future without a quarterback. And now we're just saying no quarterbacks can play. Like, Joe Flacco playing 4 quarters on Saturday's game? Like, what's the deal here in Philadelphia?
Huntley, you got Huntley, and Gabriel is what you're going to get here. And that's, listen, you drafted Dylan Gabriel, so it's actually not a bad thing that you're going to get to see him here maybe this week in week 2, because you got to figure it out, right? At some point, you still got to figure it out. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Flacco is not the long-term answer. So you better get one of these guys, whether it's Pickett or Gabriel, healthy enough to play in these next 2 weeks.
By the way, Flacco did go to Delaware. Did you know where he went before Delaware for his freshman year, I guess? Do you know where that was?
Where? Where'd he go?
Pittsburgh. Do you know who his head coach was?
Oh.
Dave Wannstedt. Wannstedt told him he's going to be the starter the next year, and he goes, yeah, it's okay. I'm still going to Delaware anyway. Joe Flacco on the move. And who else is on the move? Caleb Williams. He's starting, people.
Can't get thrown out like that. You just can't.
It's the only thing he's good at, is yelling at umpires.
Yeah.
Other than that, he has no feel for the game, no grasp of the game, no idea how to manage a bullpen, no idea how to write up a lineup card. He certainly has no feel for high leverage spots and who to bring in. Devin Williams. There's nothing he does well other than scream and yell at the umpires.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Tigers aren't out of first place. They're still in first place, Tom, by 5 games over the Cleveland Guardians. But you see, like, last 10 games, Detroit Tigers 5-5. Last 10 games, Guardians. Winners of 9 of 11 games, winners of 5 straight games. They're only 5 back now than the Kansas City Royals, sitting at 8.5 back. The Detroit Tigers, so much fun this year, but now facing adversity with a month and a half left in the season.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
He is not Derrick Henry. He is not one of those special backs in that sense. A really good one that's been outstanding in fantasy for quite some time. But you can also hear the buzz recently about it being more of a split backfield. And if that's so, then Aaron Jones' value takes a hit, Jordan Mason's value goes up, and there's an opportunity at some point, if Aaron Jones misses time, where you can see Jordan Mason take that backfield over.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Yankees have an 80.7% chance of still making the playoffs. That just tells you that parity is alive and well in Major League Baseball, where mediocre teams can still make the playoffs, and the Yankees are mediocre but have above mediocre talent. So if they can put it together, you still got an 80% chance of playing postseason baseball.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Ready to go, Joe. That's the theme here. We're ready. It's August 14th, 2025. It's a Thursday. In a couple more Thursdays, we'll have the kickoff for the NFL season. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I'm actually going to be in studio doing a college football show that will be live with Joe Lisi, and then it's officially football season, even though for me, Joe, I always think about July as football season because that's when we get the training camps. But now we're saying Ben Johnson is in control in Chicago. That's the head coach everybody wanted there. That's an offense that spent a lot of money on its talent and a lot of high draft capital. The expectations are sky high. Courtney Cronin tweets out yesterday. Ben Johnson said that everyone is going to play Sunday versus Buffalo in the Bears' second preseason game. That includes Caleb Williams and the starters who sat out last week. Get the starters some time. Let me see him with Ben Johnson, and let's see what we have for the season itself. I like this move. These guys need to play. Now let's just see what happens once they play this weekend.
Well, again, we'll see. The problem that I have here is there is so much hype around Ben Johnson, the coach, and that, this is going to be the savior, and they finally got it right. I am not sure the Ben Johnson offense. I'm not a believer in Caleb Williams at all. I wasn't a believer with him out of USC, Donnie. I didn't think he deserved to go on board. I thought, crazy me, and I said it a million times here on the network, JT Daniels is the best quarterback coming out of college. Like, I don't even know what are we even arguing about here. Caleb Williams is too busy, with the tears, hanging out in the stands with his mom. Like, this is not a guy I want leading my football team. And the Bears, well, they had an opportunity, and, well, they picked Caleb Williams. But now they're going to try to redo that mistake by bringing in a head coach, which is a great move with Ben Johnson. But I don't see it working, Donnie. I don't care how much talent you have around him. I don't trust him above the shoulders at all. I think they will be, mark my words and mark the tape, by week 7 or 8, there'll be a different quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
No, come on now. Ben Johnson is the creator of the quarterback position. They got weapons, Joe. They got a guy that's about ball in there, Heisman Trophy style in college, ready to take the reins. You know when I'm going to get fired up? If Caleb goes like this, and it says "Go Bears" on his painted fingernails, that's an MVP season that we're going to have at this point right now. Let me ask you the question on this, though. Last year, Caleb Williams, let me just bring up some stats that he had. 3,541 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a passer rating of 87. His passer yards this year, his prop, 3,625. He should smash that. But you know what's funny? You're right about this. He was telling stories in the offseason like, hey, man, Eberflus would tell me to go watch film. I had no idea what I was watching. Now, at least you're going to have somebody to watch film and break down film with in Ben Johnson. How does he not throw for roughly 100 more yards than he did last year, Joe? So your prediction or the odds maker saying like, yeah, Joe's right now. He's going to stink. I don't think he's going to stink. I think he surpasses that number. But I look at that number go like, why is it just barely higher than what we saw last year?
Yeah, and again, the market is telling you, aren't they, Donnie? Everything that you need to know, that it is not going to be all about Caleb Williams. And if you truly believe in Johnson in his first year as a head coach, well, then he has got to make it about a lot of other things other than dropping Caleb Williams back 30, 35, 40 times a game, Donnie. They are going to have to be able to run and play defense, get turnovers. Sure, they're going to have to do everything else right in order to give him a shot to actually be successful. Because if you're planning on dropping him back that many times, nothing good is coming from that in any way, shape, or form.
It's interceptions or touchdown passes, Joe. That's team totals. That's going over the total. That's what we really need to see. The Chicago Bears win total this season, 8.5, which means expectations are to push for a playoff spot in December. The playoffs, short dog price, plus 180. The NFC North champions at a plus 550. The NFC title at 20-1, and then the Super Bowl at a 40-1 odds here. For you, Joe, what does a good season look like for the Chicago Bears?
500 is a good season. I mean, what more are we expecting when you don't truly have a proven commodity at quarterback? I just don't get it. I mean, if you could do the draft all over again, are you really picking Caleb Williams? Is this the guy that you want? And the answer is absolutely not. So it may take a little while for him. But you just go 500 in the first year, and I think you're heading on the right path.
Come on, let's cook this year, Joe. I got to sway you over to my opinion on Caleb. Let's cook. Ben Johnson, Caleb. They can run for president and vice president in a couple years here. Maybe be the mayor of Chicago. They're going to take over the Windy City at this point here. I'll tell you who's not taking over. It's Odell Beckham Jr. Give it up. I think I'm a better wide receiver right now than Odell Beckham Jr.
No.
I got the stats to prove it.
You can't get thrown out like that. You just can't.
It's the only thing he's good at is yelling at umpires.
Yeah.
Other than that, he has no feel for the game, no grasp of the game, no idea how to manage a bullpen, no idea how to write up a lineup card. He certainly has no feel for high leverage spots and who to bring in. Devin Williams. There's nothing he does well other than scream and yell at the umpires.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Tigers aren't out of first place. They're still in first place, Tom, by 5 games over the Cleveland Guardians. But you see, last 10 games, Detroit Tigers 5-5. Last 10 games, Guardians. Winners of 9 of 11 games, winners of 5 straight games. They're only 5 back now than the Kansas City Royals, sitting at 8.5 back. The Detroit Tigers, so much fun this year, but now facing adversity with a month and a half left in the season.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
He is not Derrick Henry. He is not one of those special backs in that sense. A really good one that's been outstanding in fantasy for quite some time. But you can also hear the buzz recently about it being more of a split backfield. And if that's so, then Aaron Jones' value takes a hit, Jordan Mason's value goes up, and there's an opportunity at some point if Aaron Jones misses time where you can see Jordan Mason take that backfield over.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Yankees have an 80.7% chance of still making the playoffs. That just tells you that parity is alive and well in Major League Baseball, where mediocre teams can still make the playoffs, and the Yankees are mediocre but have above mediocre talent. So if they can put it together, you still got an 80% chance of playing postseason baseball.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, Jerry Jones and those Dallas Cowboys. Maybe it's good that they're out of town, Oxnard, California, before they fly back. But the one thing I can never understand is a guy that you would probably ask, that wants to win a championship and be on top of the world again more than anybody else, is Jerry Jones. But then you start to question everything about Jerry Jones and his management style. To have a team worth more money than any single sports team on the planet and to not have any success whatsoever at winning championships or the thought of a championship in 30 years is incredible. But that's the Dallas Cowboys. And yesterday, we had a tweet come out from Todd Archer. And it was the interview with a transcript here. What's preventing you guys from talking right now? That was Todd Archer. Jerry said again, nothing really. And then Todd Archer goes back. So why don't you talk? Jerry says, again, nothing would be that. And we might or might not talk. And the rest of that gets into what we do every day. This man sounds like he's lost his mind. You are the owner. You have the checkbook. If you wanted to right now, Joe, at 8:33 Eastern, can walk into the room and say, here's your check for 5 years and $222 million. Start to play football and let's go. Does he enjoy the actual spectacle of the sport more than actually winning? 20 years ago, I never thought that would be the case with Jerry Jones, Joe.
Listen, Jerry Jones he didn't get here by accident, right? He didn't get to be the billionaire Dallas Cowboys owner by accident. And he did it because everything is about, principles and perception. And in his mind, getting the better of the situation, right? One thing he did say, which I think explains everything here, Donnie, one of the quotes that he gave yesterday when people are like, listen, you're 21 days away from game one here. What are you aren't you worried you're under And he said, quote, "You don't have deadlines when you're playing under a contract," end quote. And he's right. It's not like this is a free agent. This is a guy that is under contract. And to Jerry Jones, he's right. Listen, I'm not the one losing out here. You're the one who doesn't show up and doesn't play. You're the one who's going to lose money. The reasons Micah Parsons is in camp is strictly because he doesn't want to lose the money. Why? He's under contract. So you don't have to do anything if you're Jerry Jones. It better be Micah Parsons making the first move.
I got to tell you, like, when did Mike Brown sort of seep into Jerry Jones's body? Like, hey, we're going to be physically responsible. We can't pay everybody, but yet understanding that the economics of the NFL is pay these guys as soon as you can because you will save money on a rising salary cap. Not wait till the cap goes higher, which means you have to pay your player even more money in the meantime and then do it again a couple years later. That's what I can't understand. And for a team that's like Jerry's getting older. Jerry doesn't go, hey, I have a 20-year vision for this franchise. No, you don't. You have a 3-year vision for this franchise, and this is the way that we're going to run it. But even more importantly, sometimes you can see owners, general managers, or players be very articulate behind the microphone. Here's the game plan. Here's why we're doing it. It's all going to work out in the end. We're getting blips and blurbs from Jerry every day that sounds like he has no idea what's going on in his own organization, and he runs the thing.
Yeah, he does. But again, it's all about leverage with a Jerry Jones, the billionaire, right? It's all about having leverage here. And he'll keep pointing to the fact that, listen, we talked about a contract, we had a deal, and all of a sudden, you walked away from it. Now you want to have another negotiations. All the while you have a contract, you are still under contract. And then don't forget, they can still use the franchise tag on him here at some point, Donnie, as well. So, again, leverage. Jerry has all of it. Parsons is the only one losing out here. And Jerry could care less, quite honestly, other than the fact of Jerry got the better of him. See, I told you it was going to work out, but it worked out because Jerry got the better end of the deal.
Amazing times here. Jerry's bank account's going to get bigger, more yachts, more fun, more canned film festivals for Jerry, more drafts from the middle of the ocean on his yacht where he picks the player out here, and that's not going to change. The only thing that we hope is going to change if you're a Cowboys fan is wins on the field, and when you play these games, you win stupid prizes. That's what Dallas has won, stupid prizes for 30 years. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes here. One wide receiver to another. It's your boy Donnie right side. It's Odell Beckham Jr. I don't know why this guy's name has stood out there for the past couple of years. I don't know why people still get excited. It has been since 2019 where he's meant anything on the football field. We're going into 2025. A Tom Pelissero tweet came up yesterday. 3-time Pro Bowler wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has drawn interest from several teams and plans to play somewhere in 2025 per source. As OBJ posted himself, he's not retiring and continues to train in anticipation of being on the field soon, which was hilarious over the weekend where like Adam Schleckler tweeted out that he's going to retire and he got angry at that. I got news for you, Joe Ranieri. Odell Beckham Jr. has been retired for at least 5 to 6 years at this point. Let me give you the sought-after free agent that he is. Receptions per season. In 2020, 23. In 2021, 17. In 2021, along that with the Rams, 27. And then you get to 2023 and beyond, 35 and 9. Who would want this guy other than he has like a legendary status for a few really good years with the Giants and some amazing catches. You know what else we remember him for? Oh, he wears funny cleats in the preseason or before the game. And wow, did you get to the game early because he makes all these catches with one hand? Got news for you, Odell. If you made more catches with 2 hands, you'd probably still be in the league right now. How about that?
The problem with Odell is the guy had all what could have been. I mean, Donnie, really, that's what, when we look back at Odell Beckham, we're going to be like, what could have been? This guy had all the talent in the world and showed flashes of it. I mean, greatness. But the problem was bit of a head case early on in his career and then couldn't stay healthy, Donnie. And, that year with the Rams, that was unbelievable, that year with the Rams, where a lot of guys had counted him out back then, too. But he was a big part of that run to the Super Bowl there. So if he can play, Donnie, if a team legit thinks Odell Beckham Jr. still has something in the tank, he'll be on a roster at some particular point this season. If teams don't think he is good enough, or he doesn't have the burst anymore. He's got nothing left. He'll be doing interviews and probably in the booth before it's all said and done this season.
Like, again, with the Rams run, like he had 27 catches. Do you know what I mean? Like he was having a good Super Bowl before he got injured. We'll give him that. But also, let's understand, like, oh, I'm a superstar with Baltimore. It's like, hey, you know what? That's interesting. OBJ goes to Baltimore. 35 catches, 565. And I don't even think they used him in the playoffs at all. And then he goes, hey, man, let's go down to Miami. I got Tua. I got Mike McDaniel. I got electric wide receivers on the outside. You're going to have to single me up on a slot cornerback who's probably your fifth best cornerback. You know what he did for Miami? 9 games, 9 catches. And he's talking about teams want me. Why would you want Odell Beckham? Otherwise, just hanging a poster saying, do you remember how cool he was? This guy cannot help your football team. Don't waste a spot on your roster on Odell Beckham. Groom, train, get a younger player ready on that organization. Odell can't help you except for the name himself and the hair that he has. That's it.
Don't forget, Donnie, 2 years ago, the Ravens gave him $15 million guaranteed
yes, what
on
a heist.
that one-year deal.
What a heist.
But the only reason they gave him that is because they were still negotiating with Lamar Jackson, who is best friends with Odell Beckham Jr., and Lamar wanted Odell on the team. They eventually got that 5-year contract settled with Lamar, but only after they gave Odell $15 million. So it pays to have friends, Donnie, in high places. That's for sure.
Exactly. I mean, come on, getting 300 to 400 yards a season here. And again, with the Miami Dolphins, which was a bad team, 9 catches, 18 targets, and 55 yards on the season. And he's going to go play somewhere? Stop it, man. LA Fitness probably has a lot of flag football leagues. Odell can probably rip up and make all the one-handed catches he can. He's just not an NFL player anymore. He was sensational with the Giants. He's not that player anymore, and it's time to move on. You know what's time to move on to right now? Major League Baseball. We're talking Brewers. They already got the 12 spot underneath. Is it 13? Is it 14? Is it 15? Is it 16 wins on deck for the Brew Crew? Let's talk about that next and much more in Major League Baseball right here on the Early Line.
Can't get thrown out like that. You just can't.
It's the only thing he's good at is yelling at umpires.
Yeah.
Other than that, he has no feel for the game, no grasp of the game, no idea how to manage a bullpen, no idea how to write up a lineup card. He certainly has no feel for high leverage spots and who to bring in. Devin Williams. There's nothing he does well other than scream and yell at the umpires.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Tigers aren't out of first place. They're still in first place, Tom, by 5 games over the Cleveland Guardians. But you see, like, last 10 games, Detroit Tigers 5-5. Last 10 games, Guardians. Winners of 9 of 11 games, winners of 5 straight games. They're only 5 back now than the Kansas City Royals, sitting at 8.5 back. The Detroit Tigers, so much fun this year, but now facing adversity with a month and a half left in the season.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
He is not Derrick Henry. He is not one of those special backs in that sense. A really good one that's been outstanding in fantasy for quite some time. But you can also hear the buzz recently about it being more of a split backfield. And if that's so, then Aaron Jones' value takes a hit, Jordan Mason's value goes up, and there's an opportunity at some point, if Aaron Jones misses time, where you can see Jordan Mason take that backfield over.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Yankees have an 80.7% chance of still making the playoffs. That just tells you that parity is alive and well in Major League Baseball, where mediocre teams can still make the playoffs, and the Yankees are mediocre but have above mediocre talent. So if they can put it together, you still got an 80% chance of playing postseason baseball.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Joe Ranieri, he's down in South Florida. He probably remembers the famous press conference that said, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I don't know how high LeBron James went with his, Miami Heat press conference with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, but it feels like we might have a conversation with the Milwaukee Brewers, who now sit 76-44. Not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. That's how many wins they have in a row right now, and they crushed the Pirates again for a second straight day. 14 runs. Hey, guys, save some runs for tomorrow. That's okay. We got 12 left in the tank. Free cheeseburgers, free hamburgers, free wins all over the place. The Milwaukee Brewers are running hot, and I don't know who can stop them.
Well, nobody at this point. Maybe the real answer to that question, Donnie, is the Milwaukee Brewers somehow. Yeah. But I don't see it. We have seen it. So the great thing about baseball, Donnie, right? Over the 100+ years that baseball has been around, and if you've watched the game long enough, you tend to recognize certain situations in certain teams that you aren't overly, they don't have big names, right? They don't have all of these go-to guys. You're like, nah, ain't never going to last. They're not the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Reds. Yeah. And yet, what do, Donnie? We see it all the time. We saw the Royals do it over the last decade, right? We've seen the Marlins do it. We've seen Texas do it. We've seen all of these teams where we're going, they're not going to beat the big guys. Stop. The Brewers are in that category, Donnie, where they got a nice players that are playing great together at the right time of year, and that usually leads to good things come October.
Ooh, man, just looking at the divisions now, the Milwaukee Brewers, a 7.5 game lead over the Chicago Cubs. 12 straight wins now for the Milwaukee Brewers. The only thing good about the Cubs saying, hey, thank goodness the Brewers don't play today so they can actually win another game when they take the diamond. They are certainly certifiably red hot right now. And we'll see where they go. Hopefully they didn't peak too early, but if this streak continues here, they're going to run away with the National League and the best record right now. One of those teams I was hoping to vie for that best record was the Philadelphia Phillies. They got stumped again in Cincinnati yesterday, and Hunter Green returns back to the mound in triumphant fashion. 6 innings pitched, 3 earns, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. His ERA now in the season at 2.47. You talk about guys like Chase Burns and Hunter Green, flamethrowers here. If you can keep them healthy, 64-58 now the Cincinnati Reds. This team has a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, and power arms if they stay healthy. That's a big reason why you can win in October, Joe.
Yeah, it's so funny, because we told you earlier, too, like the Brewers, again yesterday, set another record. I think over now 40 or 41 games this season in which they have played and scored more than 4 runs in 1 inning in a game. Now, on the other side of that is you have the Cincinnati Reds, who they're about to play a series for, right? The Cincinnati Reds have had 40-plus games in which they've scored 2 or fewer runs in it. And yet here we are, 2 teams on totally opposite sides of the spectrum, and yet it both seem to have an opportunity to make a run in the postseason here. Could the Reds be finally figuring it out here, Donnie?
If they do, again, it's a fun team that sort of disappeared. It's like now we're focusing more on pitching than the hitting, but it looks like the hitting has certainly come to life against the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll see where that takes them throughout the remaining parts of the summer, but they're right in there with the New York Mets, who themselves, they can't seem to win either. We'll get to that game in just a moment, but I want to talk about the Houston Astros yesterday. And by the way, shout out Walker Buehler. 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. He gave up that late 2-run home run in the 6th inning, but outside of that first inning, he was dealing. And the reason why I was paying attention, I had an over-team total for 3.5 for the Astros. Like, Walker Buehler gives up 2. He's not going to give up 2 the rest of the way. Thank goodness he did. But Brown on the other side improves to 10-5 on the season. He's back to form, Joe, for the Stros. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, a 2.45 ERA, a 4-1 victory for the Astros in the rubber match. Nice series, maybe a preview of 2 playoff teams.
Yeah, well, listen, I thought there was a big advantage early on in this game with Hunter Brown on the mound at home and Walker Buehler coming off of that ridiculous effort against the Padres last week. I thought he'd come back down to earth, and they made him pay. I mean, this was a close game, right? I had Houston in the first 5, and they were up 2-1, I think, before the 6th inning came and the wheels fell off. But Walker Buehler, to his credit, he's been pitching much better, especially on the road. That's big for Boston, but that's a big win yesterday with their ace on the mound for the Astros to get it done.
Now, you had a rain delay in New York yesterday. You had a delay there for the New York Yankees, which I got to tell you, I had a little Minnesota taste yesterday. Love to see that. And also, you take a look at the New York Mets. I'm like, oh, no, my Philadelphia Phillies lost. Like, okay, the Mets have a really good chance to rebound. My favorite team total of the day yesterday, Joe, was the New York Mets. They had their team total by the second inning. That score was 6-0 at home. The final score of that game, 11-6. Oh, the Mets walked away with that easy. No. 11 unanswered runs by the Atlanta Braves knocked the Mets off again. They can't get out of their own way. Good teams, bad teams, any teams here. The Mets, my goodness, 11 straight for a dead-in-the-water Braves team to pummel them into the night yesterday.
What a 6-0 lead, Donnie. And then they play an inning that goes 28 minutes with 53 pitches and 5 walks and 9 runs they gave up in that inning to Atlanta. That is just and that was what, the 4th inning, Donnie? Like, you got to just absolutely hilarious how the Mets have figured out ways to lose games this season. Not good there at Citi Field.
And if anybody pays attention, like to the Braves, understand what they're doing. They're not making the playoffs. They understand that. They're not going to say, you know what, I have a kid that's pretty good, Joe, in AA or AAA. I think he needs more seasoning. We'll have to rush him up to the majors because Carlos Carrasco is not a Major League Baseball pitcher anymore. And that's what, like, the handicap wasn't like, I love the Mets last night. It was Carrasco stinks. So once again, if we had our crystal ball out, hey, Joe, I got a hot tip for you. Carrasco's going to go 2 innings, give up 6 earned runs against the Mets. You'd say this might be the best bet I've ever heard in my life and probably a 16-5 game because you had the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, the Braves throwing outfielders here just trying to get through that game. They won the game. Not only did they win the game with a pitcher giving up 6 runs in the first 2 innings, they won it by 5 runs going away. Something just isn't right because Peterson had good statistics. 3 1/3 innings pitched, Joe, 6 earned runs. I can't figure it out. Can you?
It was a terrible inning for Peterson, who lost control and started walking everybody, especially the bottom of the order. But that's no excuse, Donnie. Like, get the bullpen in and get out with a win.
Shh. The Dodgers are in second place. We'll be right back.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
He is not Derrick Henry. He is not one of those special backs in that sense. A really good one that's been outstanding in fantasy for quite some time. But you can also hear the buzz recently about it being more of a split backfield. And if that's so, then Aaron Jones' value takes a hit, Jordan Mason's value goes up, and there's an opportunity at some point, if Aaron Jones misses time, where you can see Jordan Mason take that backfield over.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's a safe shot, pin high left with a 6-iron. And then this is where JJ enters the fray again and hits this like slice 5-iron. That was just, I mean, it curved probably a good, 30, 40 feet, almost flies in the hole. And it was just a crazy shot because nobody would ever really try to hit that type of slider.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
An HRR, parlay, a combo that you want to do. I generally prefer away teams and players that hit at the top of the lineup or in the top half, just because you are guaranteed just that extra plate appearance here or there. How many times, like throughout the season, I've been like, listen, if this guy gets on, he will have one more at bat in the 9th inning. And if he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there. If you just take them that place higher, they're going to be in a spot to cash that bet.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, the National League. It's the Dodgers. They're going to run away with it. Best team we ever seen in our lives. Win total 132.5. They might even win 150 games this year. Hasn't turned out that way right now. And yesterday on the mound, you had Shohei Ohtani wrecking the game plan by giving up runs. He's wrecking condo complexes out here. The Dodgers season is in shambles right now, Joe Ranieri. They're not even in first place, something we never thought we would utter a single sentence in that direction throughout this Major League Baseball season. So before we go, what's wrong with the Dodgers and what's taking place here? Let's just get a snapshot of the standings themselves, because it is hard to believe where you wake up today, open up the laptop, and check the standings. It's not the Dodgers. It's the San Diego Padres with 69 wins. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers with 68 wins, a game behind. How does that happen, you might say? Well, the Padres win 5 in a row. The Dodgers lose 4 in a row, and away we go. Is this fool's gold? Are we getting excited about nothing, or is this a legitimate chance that the Padres are actually a better overall baseball team than the Los Angeles Dodgers, Joe?
Yeah, it's so funny. 6 weeks ago, Donnie, we had the Padres, I believe, according to the statistics, had less than the Padres had a less than 1% chance of winning the National League West. They had about a 40% chance of making the postseason. 6 weeks ago, the Dodgers were 24 games above 500. And in that 6 weeks, Donnie, look at what has happened. It can change that quickly in Major League Baseball. And we have, 6 weeks left in the regular season here. So anything is possible. But the reality is, right now, you can get the Dodgers at a much better future price to win it all or win the West than you ever could before. So is it buy low on the Dodgers is my question now, Donnie, or do we wait?
I told you I like the Padres. I think the Padres are built for playoff baseball. Did I think a week ago that the Padres could win the division? No, because we always still think it's the Dodgers. Now, just because you have a bad week in baseball, there's still 6 weeks left in the season. You're not going to bail on the Dodgers, but the price points here are starting to come back into play. Now, they're going to be changing when people see, oh, no, they're no longer in first place. Let's buy on them. Let's sell on them. Now we take the Padres. We'll see what that entails. But I'm looking right now at a minus 210 price and a plus 155 price, give or take where you're shopping at, where the Dodgers are still the favorites. And I think you're right about this, because we can equate the same thing to the MVP race, right? Hey, what's that price point on Ohtani? Plus 120, minus 140. You know he's going to pitch and that number's going to go away. It's a matter of where you're striking with that value is. It's like buying a stock. Hey, man, just bought Amazon at $300. Awesome, man. You could have got it at $5. Like, it's all price point relative on how much profit you can make back. But I think there is something to it. The Dodgers aren't going away. Do I think the Dodgers lose another 4 games in a row, 6 games in a row, 8 games in a row, and the Padres have an 8-game lead by the time we get to September? No, I don't. But also at the same time, I'm not the price point, Joe, where Aaron Judge was a plus 180 and now is a favorite. Hey, I'll take that. Shohei Ohtani in the MVP race, a plus money number or minus 200 favorite. Hey, you know what? That number's going to run away. I don't know if I'm running to the line, though. Even if I think the Dodgers will win at a minus 210 price. Like, what is that buy point for you, Joe? Is it just get me to plus money and I'll take that?
I think there's far too many holes on this team to think that it's a foregone conclusion that the Dodgers are just going to roll in and defend their title. We haven't had a back-to-back winner in Major League Baseball in 25, 24 years. And nothing about this Dodgers team leads me to believe that they are just one of the all-time great teams here that is just going to rattle off championship after championship. Do you know the last time, Donnie? Here, give me a year. The last time the Padres won the National League West. How long ago do you think it was?
I don't even know if I was alive. Was Tony Gwynn? Yeah. Was Gwynn out there on the diamond? Who was it?
2006. And do you know who the leadoff hitter for the Padres was?
2006. I don't even know who was it?
How about Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers? That is the last time the Padres have actually won the National League West, and it's the Dodgers manager was their leadoff hitter at that time. That's how circle of life, Donnie, the baseball.
Jack Murphy?
Exactly.
Where were they back then?
Exactly. So it's so funny. What goes around comes around. I like the Padres' chances, but again, they're the champions until somebody beats them.
You're right about that because there's still so much talent. There's just too much to give up on, but that price point is what we are handicappers in trying to gauge. Do you want to take a minus 210 today? That could be a minus 600 in a few weeks. That's value. If you want to take a minus 210 today in a week, it's plus 110. No, you don't. But you know what you need to do? Stay here for hour number 2. Sherry, Taylor Swift, NFL, it's all here, baby.